empower them and empower them to enable them to understand and pursue their dreams. Next,
so have you started the second presentation?
Pardon, sir?
Have you started the second presentation? First one is complete?
Yes, the second one, sir. The second one we're moving on, sir.
Okay.
I have 15 minutes, sir. So I'm moving on quite fast to cover the
No,
second one.
for each you have got 3 presentations.
I have 3 presentations in total, sir. And I was told that I have to, for all 3, I have only 15 minutes.
No, it's not like this. For first,
land bank for communities in Meghalaya. First presentation. The issue is that, as you have rightly pointed out in your opening remarks, that due to younger generation taking other jobs, they are not interested in the agriculture practices, and they are not interested in the land. So how do you overcome that?
So one of the reasons why the young generation is not interested in the land is because they do not have longer ownership of the land. Now, in the present arrangement, they can lease out the land for maybe just 1 or 2 years, and which is not enough. Now we are looking at a system by which we're taking horticulture program. One of the slogans which we're looking for is that every valley, 1 lakh fruit trees. This needs a long-term. We need a term of about 15 to 20 years before we can actually materialize this dream. So the young people can take up activities right from the time when they have in the nursery to fruit, growing the crops, fruit production, fruit processing, and marketing. So that is a 15 to 20-year-old plan. So unless we can give them a community land of that kind of longevity, then only it will attract them to go back into this kind of into the agriculture field. Otherwise, they will all leave this the fertile land and concentrate on what they do is on blue-collar job or some minor work everywhere, or even leave the state.
Means who will be the owner title? Who will have the legal title on the land? Communities or the individuals?
No, the legal title, the land continues to remain with the community. The individual just leaves the land for a longer period of time. So as long as they wish.
Okay. Got it. Thank you, please.
No specific question. You can start second presentation.
That Meghalaya, there are 3 major issues that govern the state of Meghalaya. The first is Meghalaya is a state where 95% of the land belongs to the communities. Number 2, Meghalaya is a state where the people are a matrilineal system and where the names and the titles of all landholdings goes to the women. And number 3, Meghalaya is a state with multiple governance mechanisms and authorities. Now, to start with, as we are all aware that in the state of Meghalaya, we have, it is one of the states that have been blessed with an abundance of natural resources, abundance of natural, both overground and underground. Now, one of the main things that we want to talk here is about the issues of land. Now, one thing is, while 95% of people of the land, we are in a situation where over the last 50 years, the state of Meghalaya has organized a lot of activities that have been taken up. Now, the Meghalaya Institute of Governance, as one of the institutional mechanisms of the government, has taken up various activities over the last 10 years. And these activities have resulted in a situation where it has opened up areas by which new innovative ideas are being taken forward. Now, to start with, we'll take a look at the first one. This is called the Land Bank, the initiatives under the Land Bank. Now, while 95% of the people have land bank and it is owned by the communities, yet over the last 50 years, and with the change in the situations, the change in the surroundings, and the change in the ownership model, most of the lands which were previously belonging to the communities have now changed over into individual and private ownership, where more and more of these lands which were previously owned by communities has now gone into a different kind of ownership. Now, because of this, we are looking at a system where a lot of people who were previously becoming farming community are now becoming landless. A lot of land, which is agricultural land, which has had the potential of making a huge production in the state, is now becoming land which is fallow land, because young people do not want to follow up this in the land, because the land does not belong to them. So what we are doing in the Meghalaya Institute, we are trying to institutionalize a system called the land bank by bringing together all the community lands, all the clan lands, all the lands that is available for the people, to bring them in such a situation where our farmers can use them for a longer pattern. Now, linking this with the present varying land holding system, right, where this will encourage people to take up long-term agriculture purpose, right from agriculture to horticulture to other kinds of livelihood practices. Because we are a system, we integrate a lot of traditional bodies. We are setting up these community-based land management institutions to ensure that we will be able to address the food and nutritional security. Now, most of these lands that are there are underutilized. So by taking up the land bank project, we will be able to provide more utility, more productivity for this land. Next, please. Next slide, please. Now, continuing with this, now, what happens here? Now, the issue here is that we are more and more being taken up to identify these lands. Now, we are not taking people from outside, but people who are actually belonging to the community, young people from the community, educated people from the community, are being trained to document, map, and record all the lands under their communities. Now, these plots which have been identified are being mapped, are being surveyed, and will be used for taking part in any of the feasibility livelihood interventions that we have. Now, during these activities, next please, we have taken up this land bank initiative. Now, because of this, we have faced a lot of challenges. Now, these challenges you have seen here, the challenges are fragmented land holding, poor market access, infrastructure, poor infrastructure, as well as the absence of maps. To handle this, we have taken up these solutions, which include development of primary online hubs, bringing diagram linkage. So far, we've been able to initiate through an EAP. We have brought about 250 kilometers of plastic cell roads to connect these agricultural lands to the markets. We have started the construction of farmers markets at key locations. We are putting new crops which having low volume but high value. We are providing more indigenous for irrigation, and also we are doing GPS mapping of all the villages, helping them with having a proper boundary demarcation. Next, please. Now, considering this, we are looking at another aspect. Now, the aspect is, since we are going through this and since most of the land belongs to the women. Now, one very important thing about this is that the Meghalaya Institute of Governance is trying to bring about the leadership amongst the women. Since women play the most important role in our state, the leadership amongst them is very important. So we are taking care of this right at the young stage, where we are going to take them, we are providing them with life skills to develop their leadership abilities, to take up this mantle of being ownership of this entire state. Now, if you look at this, now can you go back? Can we just go to the presentation of the life skills, adolescent girls? Adolescent girls comprise of one of the very biggest, components of our state, and they have one of the most important responsibility. However, wherever we look, there is a lack of women participation in the leadership roles in tribal city of Meghalaya. Now, on top of that, these adolescent girls, they struggle with gender discrimination. They have a lot of problems with them. There is a lack of awareness in the health and hygiene and understanding of mental health. And also there is a lack of goals.
Right from the clan family level, right from the level of the local traditional institutions. Then we have the autonomous district councils. Then we have the district administration. Then we have the legislative assembly. Then we have the government. So all these issues are creating a thing by which over the years we have come to see that the performance, especially of these leaders, is very much lacking. So one of these programs we have earlier corrected for us was we had done a program which was called C-Level Leadership Development Institute. Here we have done another program was called Ethics and Governance, where we are thinking at all the cutting edge delivery mechanism in the government. But later we have come to realize that the most important are the legislators. And over the years, we have seen that the performance of the legislators in our assembly needs to be updated, because with the change in time and the change in the kind of people who are representing us, if you look at the formation of the Meghalaya Legislative Assembly people now, it brings out that there are a large number of people who are coming from various kinds of backgrounds, and their idea of governance, their idea of the development is different from one to another. So because of this, we decided that let us start a system by which we will put one young professional who has been trained by us and who will be attached with the legislative assembly legislators to help them on various issues related to legislative affairs, house procedures, related to geopolitical and economic affairs of state, and especially with levels to give them an insight into the issues that relate within the constituency, especially when it comes to matters with having the poor data management. Now, for this, we, together with the Indian School of Business and Bharti Policy, we started the Meghalaya Legislative Research Commission. This was able to support the honorable legislator to give them certain kinds of research, empower them with an insight to solve the complex problems in governance and public policy. Next, please. So, in the state of Meghalaya, we have about 60 MLAs, but we are unable to cater to all the needs of the 60. We are unable to cater to the needs of all the 60 MLAs. So what is that? We have been able to gather about 15 people to do this. And because of that, we have been able to put one MLA, one fellow with 5 legislators. So the challenge here, one of the challenges here was that because we had only one fellow to every 5 MLAs, the allocation of MLAs to the fellow was in such a way that one fellow was getting both MLAs from the ruling as well as from the opposition. This created a situation by which some of the MLAs are not able to openly talk about their issues within their assemblies. Now, another thing is lack of because of the shortage of MLAs of fellows, because this is just on a pilot basis we have started. We had a short time of allocation of those fellows, so we did not have time, and because of the COVID situation and because of the now that we are going into the election mode, we have not been able to take it further. But what we have done now, we have assigned these fellows to work on the legislatures on what needs to be done. Now, what we need, what exactly we are doing now, sir, is we are going to map the aspirations of the people in the constituency, map the aspirations of the MLAs, and try to match these two aspirations so that the demands of the community, the demands of the requirements of the legislators, and the need to have a proper governance mechanism is incorporated through the data that we are collecting. Next, please. Next, please. Yeah. So the process of implementation. Now, in the process of implementation, we have implemented in such a way where all MLAs have a hand in it. So in the first workshop which we have taken with MLAs at Mohali, the ISB campus, it has created an openness and an open discussion and on various public policy concepts we have discussed. And for the first time, we had MLAs from both sides of the ruling as well as the opposition talking openly about the need to build up the state, and irrespective of the differences that they had in their ideas. So this has because of the young professors and options of MRG, we'll be able to bond so well that now the MLAs are looking forward towards getting these young people to work on a very more close relation with all of us. Next, please. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. So basically now, sir, because of this, we are now in a situation where we won because of the results that we have seen. Now we want to see that apart from taking this to all the 60 MLAs. We want to take it also to the next level. That is, take it to the autonomous district councils, take it to the village darbars, the village committees, the various different kinds of legislative governance mechanism in the state. Because unless all of them come together and talk in a very open and understanding way, understand the issues that face them, understand the requirements of the people, match these two, I think we are in a very positive mode now to take up this program. I think that is the way for it. And if all these three, that is the land holding system, the women, and our policy making leaders are brought together and understand the issues that face the state, understand the aspirations that the people need, know how we're going to achieve this, we are very sure that over the next decade, Meghalaya will be able to become one of the model states in the country. Thank you, sir.
Good initiative. In fact, this will also motivate these young fellows to take up leadership and political side as their career, because it is very important that our public representatives are well informed, well researched, and they are thorough on their subject. I think this is a very good initiative. In the central government, Prime Minister's fellowship scheme is also there. Yes, yes, it is a good initiative. Thank you.
No specific questions, sir. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Let me give a brief introduction of Nagaland to our juries. Nagaland is actually a hilly state in Northeast and is home to 18 indigenous tribes, where each tribe has its unique culture, tradition, and festivals. And every home in Nagaland, you can find storytelling, which is very common, the folk tales, which is being passed down from generation to generation. So why have we thought of this 4x4 initiative is most of the interiors part of Nagaland is not accessible by road or by air transport. There is no facility for rail connectivity. And so we thought, like, post-pandemic, to make tourism more inclusive for the community, the Department of Tourism started this initiative 4x4, which is also known as Wonder Beyond Boundaries. So can we shift to the next slide? Yeah, so why Nagaland is a best option for 4x4 travel? That is because Nagaland is blessed with natural beauty. It has remote villages, forgotten tracks and trails. The people of Nagaland are hospitable. It has its unique culture, and even the folk music is one of the most popular, authentic part of Nagaland tourism, and even the handicrafts. So we thought, like, offbeat destination can be one of the options to promote Nagaland tourism in the interior remote part of the state for discerning tourists, because already with Nagaland blessed with the landscape, hilly landscape, it can be an extreme off-road travel destination. It has huge potential for adventure and eco and rural tourism. Next slide. Yeah, like I said, as you can see in the picture, 4x4 is a four-wheel drive vehicle where, we have leveraged a disadvantaged road into a positive and promote off-road destination where tourists can travel to remote part of the state and interact with the communities, because the remote part of the state offers authentic culture and traditions of the people of Nagaland. Can we go to the next slide? Yeah, post-pandemic, we thought, like, since tourism was most affected because of the pandemic, we thought in reviving tourism, we had to reimagine tourism, and that is shift our focus from mass to discerning, from tourist to traveler. Enhance footprint beyond just central hubs, but take tourism to interiors where you can see more authentic culture of the people. And also, benefit and provide livelihood to the community. We also focus on nature, culture, and indigenous aspect through this 4x4 initiative. It also shows a larger portion of our beautiful state, all that has to offer as part of the remote region. Yes, next slide. This 4x4 initiative was officially launched on 7 December 2022 by our Honorable Chief Minister Shri Nepiriu, and the book is available online. And also, soon it will be available in Amazon. Next slide. Yes, so this is, we hope that in near future, Nagaland will be one of the off-road capital of India. And this is how we have launched our guidebook, where people can go download the app, and all the informations are also available on our social media. We have already done an expedition and recce of all the destinations of the interior part of the state, and people who are interested, they can also book through our website. Next. Yeah, so what do we expect from this initiative, from this project? The local benefits are mostly to create employment, livelihood opportunity for peoples, and especially to experience rural life. We are encouraging homestays to come up, and also service and support like work mechanics, workshop, etc. It can also be a platform to appreciate our local products and services. We also hope to encourage conservation of natural resources, rivers, flora, and fauna. It provides incentives to preserve our old customs and traditional festivals, architecture, food, etc. And what can a tourist or a traveler benefit? This off-road destination itself sets an expectation upfront, because you get to travel to the interior parts of Nagaland, where you can experience extreme adventure. And also, while planning your itineraries, you can opt for your a tourist can opt for their areas of interest, like maybe in food, culture, or nature. And the best part is that the travelers can fly in and they can hire a four-wheel drive vehicle, drive themselves, embark on the journey where the communities will be there to support them. The state benefits. With this initiative, we hope to reduce load and expectation. There are no star hotels in Nagaland, and so we hope to reduce the load and expectation of infrastructure. No big hotels, just homestays. No conventional tourism infrastructure. Larger population will benefit from tourism-based economy. It will create a sustainable model for tourism that preserves nature and culture. We hope to drive the traffic from the hub to the interiors. Greater revenue, travelers spend more time, money over sustain than package-based tourism products. What we project from this project, what revenue projection from this project is that all the allied services which is connected with tourism industry can benefit, like homestays, like I've mentioned earlier, wayside eateries, cultural groups, which means involvement of community, small scale and cottage industries can also benefit from this project. Next slide. Yeah, so There is a full-fledged booking portal to facilitate our interested travelers and select the vehicle and also the destination where we will be providing a pickup point. And all these are available on our website. So we hope through this project, we hope to have an inclusive tourism program for the community in general, for the benefit of the community. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. It will definitely create a decentralized tourism sector in your state. It is a good initiative, humble and simple action plan. By the way, how much tourists have been attracted so far under this scheme?
So
How
we
many
have
have visited?
just launched in the month of December, we have attracted at least 60,000 tourists domestic.
When it was launched?
December 7, 2022, last year, Hornbill Festival.
Okay, I think you have to wait for few months to see the real impact, isn't it?
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you, please.
Are you doing these activities for your annual festival?
Come.
Hello.
Hi, sir.
Are you doing these activities, whatever you have mentioned in your presentation, that are you doing these activities for your
Yes, sir. Can you repeat the question?
my question is, you have mentioned so many activities which you have undertaken for December festival, right?
Yes.
So are you doing these activities on a continuous basis?
Yes, sir. It's all around the year.
Okay.
Since it's an
Okay.
off-beat destination travel plan.
Okay. Okay. Very good.
Yeah.
To attract tourists in a state and maintaining old traditions is excellent way of attracting more tourists, and so that the state will also get some revenue. All the best
Yes.
to you. All the best.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Launched a project that is
This meeting is being recorded.
computerization of record and development of software for government veterinary institution of animal husbandry. So our project is basically the digitization of animal healthcare system. Sir, what the digitization of animal is the main unique about this system, sir. All records such as treatment, all history of animals such as treatment or which medicine was given, at what time it was given, and it is complete history from birth to death of an animal. We have digitized that history, such as treatment, when vaccination was given, which vaccination was given, at which date this vaccination was given, and after that insemination, artificial insemination, whether it was successful or not successful, or date of pasteurization, and after birth of calf or baby का birth होता तो उसमें male है कि female है, and every data is fetched and it is fetched data on a one click, sir. So the project has been provided convenience to animal owner as well as staff, sir. Basically ये था कि all our data was पहले it was offline mode में था, तो हमारे पास रजिस्टर थे throughout चंडीगढ़. We have lot of hundreds of this छोटे छोटे सब सेंटर थे, तो उसमें अलग अलग डाटा था. एनिमल एक जगह से दूसरी जगह जाता था तो पता नहीं चलता था कि इसकी हिस्ट्री क्या थी. तो नाउ वी हैव डिजिटाइज दैट डाटा. तो अब ये हमारा प्रोजेक्ट बना है सर, तो एक फैसिलिटेट करता है मेंटेनेंस ऑफ रिकॉर्ड रिजल्टिंग इन बेटर डिलीवरी ऑफ सर्विस टू द फार्मर एंड पेट ओनर, सर. फॉर द ईज ऑफ डेयरी फार्मर 22 services under regulatory compliances has been, sir, made through the departmental website. Sir, login ID has been provided for online appointment and generating previous record of animal. अब क्या होता है सर, मोबाइल नंबर से बंदा अपने जो एनिमल को रजिस्टर करते हैं हम उसके एनिमल की हिस्ट्री, और वो ऑनलाइन अपॉइंटमेंट ले सकता है। और जब वो ऑनलाइन अपॉइंटमेंट लेता है तो उसकी सारी हिस्ट्री उस एनिमल की हमारे पास आ जाती है, फ्रॉम बर्थ टू उसकी डेथ तक, हर पार्ट की, हर लेवल की हिस्ट्री हमारे पास होती है उसकी। तो ये हमारा सर वर्क फ्लो इज लाइक दिस। अब ये सर कनेक्टेड है, डाटा सेंटर जो हमारा सेंट्रल डाटा सिस्टम है जो, वो सारे सब सेंटर के साथ कनेक्टेड है सर। तो इसमें जैसे सर कोई वेटरनरी सब सेंटर पे जाएगा बंदा अपने उसको लेके, तो दैट इज कनेक्टेड विद अवर वेटरनरी हॉस्पिटल, एंड वो डाटा फीडिंग एक सेंट्रल पॉइंट पे सेंट्रलाइज डाटा आएगा हमारे सारे चंडीगढ़ का। तो सर ये हमारा प्रोजेक्ट में क्या क्या चैलेंज थे सर? ये चैलेंज ये था कि स्टाफ जो हमारा था, स्टाफ वाज नॉट ट्रेन्ड, जो कंप्यूटर फ्रेंडली स्टाफ था, ये बहुत बड़ी प्रॉब्लम थी। सिमिलरली जो पब्लिक थी वो भी बहुत ज़्यादा कंप्यूटर फ्रेंडली नहीं थी सर, और उसमें डिजिटाइजेशन में हमें ये सर दिक्कत आई। और डिजिटाइजेशन से पहले रिकॉर्ड प्रोसेस ऑफ डिपार्टमेंट वर मैनुअल एंड डाटा वाज रिकॉर्डेड ऑन रजिस्टर एज आई टोल्ड अर्लियर सर। तो मेथड वाज वेरी टाइम कंज्यूमिंग एंड ट्रांसपेरेंसी नहीं थी और यूजर फ्रेंडली नहीं था सर। तो फिर हमने इसके लिए सर कैंप लगाए, हमने बहुत सारे ट्रेनिंग ऑफिशियल के भी लगाए और लोगों को भी हमने ट्रेन किया। तो ऐसे सर लोगों को भी हमने ट्रेन किया। तो और इसमें प्रॉब्लम थी कि ओपीटी रजिस्ट्रेशन स्लिप इशू टू एनिमल वर रिटन मैनुअली एंड डिफिकल्ट टू कोरिलेट विद ओल्ड ट्रीटमेंट। सर फॉर एग्जांपल जो भी हर बार नई स्लिप देते थे तो उसको पता नहीं चलता था व्हाट इसका पहले क्या किया हमने, ओल्ड ट्रीटमेंट क्या था, इसकी हिस्ट्री क्या है। तो किसी भी एनिमल की हिस्ट्री का नहीं पता था, हर बार एक नया ही इलाज शुरू किया जाता था उसका। सिमिलरली रजिस्ट्रेशन ऑफ आर्टिफिशियल इंसेमिनेशन एंड वैक्सीनेशन था, वो भी मैनुअल करते थे। उसका हमें पता नहीं चलता था कि इसके कितने फेलियर हुए हैं, क्या रीजन था फेलियर का इंसेमिनेशन का। और अब इससे क्या हो गया, अभी हमें पता चल गया कि पहले कब हुआ था इंसेमिनेशन, सक्सेसफुल हुआ था, फेलियर हुआ था, उसका रीजन लिखते हैं हम क्या था। सिमिलरली वैक्सीनेशन जो है, पहले हम मैनुअल रजिस्टर लगा हुआ था, तो अब क्या है वो डेट वाइज रजिस्टर था। अब हमने वो एनिमल वाइज एक तरह का ये रजिस्टर बन गया जिसमें उसकी सारी हिस्ट्री आ जाती है, इसकी वैक्सीनेशन बर्थ से लेके उसकी प्रेजेंट स्टेज तक हर एक लेवल की वैक्सीनेशन की हिस्ट्री है हमारे साथ। इसके अलावा जो हमें फायदा हुआ दैट इज स्टॉक इन्वेंट्री। जो स्टॉक इन्वेंट्री भी इस पोर्टल से हम मैनेज करते हैं। पहले जो मैनुअल रजिस्टर लगे थे, कितना स्टॉक है, कितनी दवाई है, अब हमने उसका डेट ऑफ क्या है, कितना हमारे पास प्रेजेंट पड़ा हुआ है, वो जैसे जैसे हम डोज देते हैं कब एक्सपायर होने वाली है, तो अब सब पता चल जाता है हमें। मॉनिटरिंग इजी हो गई है हमारी। हमारा पहले पता चल जाता है कि हमारे पास इतनी दवाई ये पड़ी है, इतनी उनको दे दी गई है, इतनी रह गई है, इतनी एक्सपायर होने वाली है, तो इसको जल्दी दो, इसको नहीं मंगवा लो। और ये सारी चीज है, इट इज मॉनिटरिंग हो रही है इसकी मेरे लेवल पे और जो सेक्रेटरी साहब के लेवल पे सर। तो ये सर रिपोर्ट है हमारी कंप्यूटराइजेशन की, जो लास्ट मंथ की इतनी मंथली ऐसे निकलती है सर कि कौन सी दवाई कब दे दी गई है और कैसे कैसे कितनी कितनी डोज दी गई है, कितनी पेंडिंग है, एक्सपायरी कब है इसकी। तो ये सारा डाटा हमें पता चल जाता है बिफोर हैंड, पहले ही पता चल जाता है कि ये फ्ला फ्ला हमारी ये दिस जो है ये इट विल गोइंग टू एक्सपायर ऑन दिस डेट। तो ये जो टाइम सर इसमें हमें चैलेंजेस आए हैं, ये द प्रोसेस वाज वेरी टाइम कंज्यूमिंग सर। a lot of new data and information added every day in the form of registered stock maintenance, monthly report maintenance and updating of manual data सर। ये बहुत टाइम कंज्यूमिंग था हमारा। बेसिकली हम पहले जैसे ही हमने इसको शिफ्ट किया तो हमारा सारा स्टाफ ट्रेंड करके तो उसको पूरा इसका डाटा क्रिएट करना शुरू कर दिया हमने, क्योंकि पास्ट डाटा हमारे पास नहीं था। जिस दिन से आया बंदा उसी दिन से हमने सारा डाटा उसका कर दिया। सिमिलरली सर जैसे स्टॉक था हमारा मेडिसिन का, वो भी सारा हमने बंदे लगा के उसको पूरा स्टॉक को एंटर कर दिया। अब जैसे ही एंट्री होती है, जिसको किसी को हम डोज देते हैं एनिमल को, तो उसमें से वो माइनस करते रहते हैं। तो पहले क्या होता था, हमें पता नहीं चलता था कि कितना डोज रह गया और किस सेंटर पे कितना पड़ा हमारे पास। अब ऐसे होता है सर कि किस सेंटर पे तो एक्स्ट्रा पड़ा है, किसी सब सेंटर पे कम हो गया, तो वी कैन इजिली कर सकते हैं हमारे मेडिसिन को, और इस तरह हमने इसकी यूटिलाइजेशन ऑफ स्टॉक ऑफ मेडिसिन बहुत अच्छा कर लिया इसकी हमारा सर। और इसमें पहले जो हमारा प्रोसेस था इट वाज ह्यूमन एरर का प्रोन था सर, कोई कॉलम स्किप हो जाते थे, अब वो प्रॉब्लम नहीं रही सर। अब हमारी जो रिपोर्ट्स बनती है बिल्कुल एक्यूरेट बनती है सर। तो ये सर हमारा एक्सीलेंस क्या है कि चंडीगढ़ एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन इज द फर्स्ट इन द कंट्री टू डेवलप एंड इम्प्लीमेंट दिस प्रोजेक्ट सर। तो ये प्रोजेक्ट हैज बीन अप्रूव्ड फॉर ई डॉक्यूमेंटेशन बाय मिनिस्ट्री ऑफ पर्सनल पब्लिक ग्रीवेंस एंड पेंशन डिपार्टमेंट ऑफ एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव रिफॉर्म सर, फॉर गुड गवर्नेंस प्रैक्टिस अंडर द स्कीम ऑफ एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव रिफॉर्म सर। तो ये प्रोजेक्ट हैज बीन वाइडली अप्रिशिएटेड सर। गवर्नमेंट हैज गिवन अस 3 लाख रुपीज फॉर फाइनेंशियल असिस्टेंट कि आप इनके प्रोजेक्ट रिपोर्ट तैयार करके सर्कुलेट करो, और हमने वो 100 सीरीज तैयार करके अलग अलग स्टेट यूटीज को भेजी हैं सर। तो वर्क गॉट डिजिटाइज फ्रॉम मैनुअल वर्क सर, ये हमारे हुआ है। इसका फायदा कंप्यूटराइजेशन ऑफ ऑल डाटा बीइंग कन्वीनियंस टू द सर्विस प्रोवाइडर लाइक ऑनर एडिटिंग एंड अपडेटिंग डाटा इज इजी सर। एज अ कंप्यूटर ड्राइव कैन स्टोर सर, डाटा हमारा स्टोर हो जाता है, ऑल डाटा हम कोरिलेट कर सकते हैं पुराना डाटा। तो ये डाटा सर हैसल फ्री डाटा है हमारा। इसका यही फायदा हो गया कि अब हमारा हर एक एनिमल का डाटा हमारे पास है सर। तो इस सिमिलरली हमारा मेडिसिन की एफिशिएंट यूज हो रहा है, कब एक्सपायर हो रही है ये हम कर रहे हैं सर। तो अब इसकी सर जो ये आवर प्रोजेक्ट इज हैज पोटेंशियल फॉर रेप्लिकेबिलिटी सर। तो ये जो हमारा जो सर ये प्रोजेक्ट है ये फर्दर भी इम्प्लीमेंट हो सकता है किसी से स्टेट में विदाउट एनी सर चेंज किए हुए, इसको अडेप्ट कर किया जा सकता है सर। तो ये अकोमोडेट चेंज इन एनवायरनमेंट एंड इट इज इम्प्लीमेंटेड ऑनलाइन क्लाउड टू इंक्रीज द, ये सर ऑनलाइन क्लाउड पे भी इम्प्लीमेंट हो सकता है सर। सिस्टम आर्किटेक्ट इंपॉर्टेंस हैज बीन गिवन टू डेवलप अ मीट्रिक फॉर अडेप्टेबिलिटी सर। हमने खास ध्यान रखा है कि किसी भी स्टेट में किसी भी सिनेरियो में इसको रेप्लिकेट किया जा सके सर। तो सर ये सर्टन प्रिसाइज डेफिनेशन हमने बनाई है सर। सॉफ्टवेयर इज अडेप्टेबल इफ इट इज अकोमोडेट चेंजेस इन इट्स एनवायरनमेंट, हाउएवर एनवायरनमेंट कैन चेंज इन मेनी वे और अलॉन्ग डिफरेंट डायमेंशन सर। ये कुछ प्रॉब्लम आ सकती हैं सर, लेकिन वो कोई ज़्यादा मेजर नहीं है अडॉप्टेबिलिटी में, ये इजीली हैंडल की जा सकती है सर।
Sir,
तो
please conclude.
ये
You have
सर
3 minutes more.
इसलिए है कि ये टू अलाउ कंपैरिजन ऑफ अडेप्टेबिलिटी, ये इसका बेनिफिशियल इन रीजन के लिए सर ये मॉडिफिकेशन हो सकता है सर। अब इसके फर्दर हमारा सर क्या रोड मैप है, हमारा फर्दर ये रोड मैप की हमारी 22 सर्विसेज आर एडेड है सर इन प्रोजेक्ट। फर्दर मोर सर्विसेज विल बी एडेड। अभी तो हम 22 सर्विसेज दे रहे हैं और सर्विसेज भी देंगे सर। हमारा जो अगला पेट प्रोजेक्ट है वो है सर, अभी हम जो रजिस्ट्रेशन कर रहे हैं वो बंदे के नाम पे, ओनर के नाम पे कर रहे हैं, उसके मोबाइल नंबर पे कर रहे हैं। फर्दर हमारा है कि हम स्मार्ट एनिमल कार्ड बना रहे हैं। हर एक एनिमल को उसका कार्ड मिलेगा, उसकी आइडेंटिटी कार्ड मिलेगा एनिमल को, वो उसका आईडी होगा, उस पे उसका सारा डाटा होगा, उसकी यूनिक आईडी फर्ज करो, उसका क्या आइडेंटिफिकेशन है, उसका यूनिक आइडेंटिफिकेशन जो एनिमल का वो उसमें हम फीड करके, और वो उसका आई कार्ड बनेगा। एक हम उसका आई कार्ड बनाने की सोच रहे हैं हर एक एनिमल की, जितने भी एनिमल है चंडीगढ़ के। तो वो स्मार्ट कार्ड लेके बंदा जहाँ उसका कोई भी कोई एम्प्लॉय या कुछ भी आ जाएगा, तो जैसे ही कार्ड हमारे पास आएगा तो वी विल ट्रीटमेंट उसका पता चल जाएगा, सारी हिस्ट्री उसके पास रहेगी। एट द टाइम ऑफ सेल फर्ज करो उसने अपना बेच दिया, किसी को सेल कर दिया, तो वो कार्ड भी साथ में जाएगा, जहां भी जाएगा तो उसकी हिस्ट्री कंप्लीट साथ में जाएगी सर। तो जो ये स्मार्ट कार्ड बनाने जा रहे हैं हम, इट विल कंप्लीट डेट ऑफ वैक्सीनेशन, ट्रीटमेंट, क्या उसकी प्रॉब्लम थी, कैसे हुई थी, और जो ये ऑल रिसीट ऑफ फीस विल बी डिजिटाइज थ्रू स्कैन और डिजिटल होती है सर। और इसके अलावा एक और फायदा हमारा ये हुआ है कि अब हमारा डाटा बहुत तैयार कर लिया हमने। अभी आज के दिन कोई भी डिजिटाइजेशन के बाद पता चलता है कि एनिमल की डेथ क्यों हो रही है, किस स्टेज पे एनिमल की डेथ हो रही है, रीजन क्या है, पोस्टमार्टम रिपोर्ट उसमें डाल रहे हैं हमारे पास। तो अब आज के दिन हमने इसका ये फायदा हो गया, इसका फर्दर भी फायदा होगा स्मार्ट कार्ड से, कि हमें पूरी हिस्ट्री, पूरे प्रॉब्लम क्या आई थी, इसकी मदर को क्या प्रॉब्लम आई थी, तो इस ऐसे पता चल जाएगा कि इसकी लाइन में कोई क्या प्रॉब्लम आ रही है, क्या बेनिफिट है। तो ये हमारा सर फ्यूचर प्लान है। थैंक यू सर।
संधू साहब, आपका ये प्रयास जो है ना, मेरे ख्याल से देश में पहली बार ऐसा हुआ है। ये बहुत अच्छा प्रोजेक्ट है, ये यूनिक प्रोजेक्ट है, इसमें कोई दो राय नहीं है, और ऐसा किसी ने पहले कभी नहीं किया है। बहुत अच्छा इनिशिएटिव है, इसको दूसरे स्टेट में भी रिप्लिकेट करने की जरूरत है। कुछ महीने पहले लंपी स्किन डिजीज हुई थी, तो आपके स्टेट में उसकी क्या पोजीशन रही? हाउ यू हैव डेल्ट दैट?
हमने डिजीज फ्री जोन है सर हमारा।
Sir, I would like to add, basically, Chandigarh was the only in the north region which was declared disease-free zone. Sir, बहुत ही sporadic cases थे, and this database has helped us to for a surveillance and better monitoring of our this Chandigarh.
सर इसमें क्या हुआ, हमारा जो ये डाटा था हमें पता चल गया कि कहाँ पे मेडिसिन कम हो रही है, कहाँ पे एक्स्ट्रा पड़ी है हमारी, किस सेंटर पे ज्यादा डिमांड है, तो हमने अपनी सारी प्लानिंग इस सॉफ्टवेयर के थ्रू करी है सर हमारी, इसलिए हमने बिल्कुल इसको फ्री कर दिया था, हमारे कोई लंबी अंडर कंट्रोल है सर।
सर टोटल कंट्रोल रहा हमारा और बहुत कम मोर्टेलिटी हुआ है सर हमारे यहाँ पे चंडीगढ़।
एक्चुअली में बात है ना कि इससे, इस प्रोजेक्ट से ये तो ठीक है, मतलब एनिमल्स को तो फायदा हुआ ही, डेयरी ओनर्स को भी फायदा हुआ, विलेजर्स को गवर्नमेंट को भी एक तरह से फायदा है, ताकि उनके जो रिसोर्सेज है, मेडिसिन है, वैक्सीन शॉर्टेज है, उसका जुडिशियस यूज और इक्वल यूटिलाइजेशन हो सकता है, पैसा भी बचेगा, अननेसेसरी बहुत सारी मेडिसिन एक्सपायर होकर के फेंक दी जाती है, वो सारी चीजें बचेंगी। तो अच्छा, जैसे मान लिया जैसे कोई एनिमल बीमार हो गया, तो कहीं पे गांव में रिमोटली पे, तो पहले क्या करते थे कि लोग उसको जो है ना लेकर के फिर ब्लॉक में आते थे, ब्लॉक स्तर पे लेकर के आते थे, ब्लॉक में उनका ट्रीटमेंट होता था। तो उसको अगर वहीं पे ही विलेज में ही उसको ये सारी सुविधाएं दी जाए, मेडिसिन की, आर्टिफिशियल इंसेमिनेशन की, तो वो कहीं ज्यादा अच्छी नहीं होंगी? आपका क्या उस पर क्या टेक है?
सर उसके बारे में हम ये कहना चाहते हैं कि वो जितना भी अवेलेबिलिटी, अगर ये जो कार्ड बन जाएगा स्मार्ट कार्ड, तो उसका एडवांटेज ये है कि मोस्ट ऑफ द जो पेट लाइफ स्टॉक ऑनर होता है वो पढ़ा लिखा नहीं होता है, तो उसको अपना ना तो ट्रीटमेंट का पता रहता है, और कई बार सेल परचेज भी बहुत फ्रीक्वेंट होता है एनिमल्स का गाँव के लेवल के ऊपर। तो अगर वो कार्ड उसके साथ जाएगा तो जो भी उसको ट्रीट करेगा मतलब अर्लीस्ट, तो वो उसकी ट्रीटमेंट इफेक्टिवली कर पाएगा, डायग्नोसिस कर पाएगा, क्योंकि उसको सारा मालूम पड़ जाएगा कि इसका एक्चुअल स्टेटस क्या है। तो सर नो डाउट वो जो उसके अंदर वो व्हाट्सएप पे या किसी पे भी अपना वो स्कैन करके भेज देगा, तो कहीं भी उसको मतलब बेटर से बेटर ट्रीटमेंट, अगर दूर भी कोई स्पेशलिस्ट बैठा है तो वो भी ट्रांसफर हो सकता है।
मोरोवर साहब, सर का जो क्वेश्चन था, हमारे चंडीगढ़ में बहुत प्रॉब्लम नहीं है ऐसी सर, ये अर्बन सिटी है सर, स्टेट है, सारा शहर है, ऐसा एज फार एज चंडीगढ़ ये प्रॉब्लम नहीं है सर ऐसी कोई। हमारे सब सेंटर जो है बहुत मतलब हर एक एरिया में 2 स्टेप पे है सर ये।
एक्चुअली में चंडीगढ़ में मैनेज करना आसान है संधू साहब, लेकिन जो बड़े स्टेट है वहाँ पर थोड़ी सी सिचुएशन अलग है।
तो सर उसमें ये टेक्नोलॉजी और भी ज्यादा अच्छी काम करेगी सर।
बिल्कुल बिल्कुल, वही मैं कह रहा था। ठीक है, धन्यवाद संधू साहब, बहुत अच्छा प्रोजेक्ट है आपका, बहुत ही अच्छा।
थैंक यू।
गुड,
थैंक यू।
Thank you so much, sir. I would request to Suren sir, is there any question or suggestion?
Surendra ji has gone for some urgent work for 5 minutes. Let us take another project.
Okay, sir.
Thank you for this opportunity, and apologies. The schedule for us has been going here and there. We have Pravasiya Bharati Divas and Global Investor Summit together starting from tomorrow in Madhya Pradesh. So I'll quickly take you through what we have done under our Chief Minister Young Professional Development Program. So the broad objective of this program was to, one, engage youth on the policy aspects, but more importantly, become part of the governance agenda as well. So in terms of vision, if you look at what we intended to do when we started the program, was that we wanted to promote good governance in the state and transform our actions through community participation. But as you would understand, at times you need new energy, new passion, and create a connect between community and the government functionaries. So in a way, we created this layer which is sort of today acting as interface between the government and the communities, and bringing both important stakeholders together. So in terms of mission, we wanted to adopt a citizen-centric approach, which is our overall objective of the government as well. Hence, this program was hosted under AIGGPA, which is the Policy Research and Good Governance Institution. Primarily, we do research, but directly aligned to the Chief Minister's office also. In terms of our scope, Apurva, we may go to the next slide. I can highlight to the team here what is our scope. We have looked at three things. One is the strengthening of the schemes, because you would also notice that the one of the key mechanisms to deliver governance in our country is through these schemes. So we wanted to ensure that we are able to strengthen that mechanism, and we looked at both sides of it, demand side and supply side. On the demand side, it is primarily the consumers or the benefits of the beneficiaries of the scheme. On the supply side, it is the government who have to sort of implement these schemes. On the demand side, we look at what is the awareness level of the scheme. Are the processes smooth enough for beneficiaries to go participate? Are there any perceptions around getting benefits on the scheme? How has been their experience in terms of taking benefits under a scheme? Whereas on the supply side, we look at people, process, technology, and infrastructure. When I say people, it means people who are implementing the scheme deployed by the government. If there are processes clearly being laid out to deliver the scheme, what is the use of technology, and do we have enough infrastructure to deliver that scheme at the grassroots level? Second is that we often hear multiple challenges from the grassroots, but most of them are hearsay. They are not properly documented. With that, a lot of good work being done by the government, which is actually creating the social impact, also gets covered up. So, our 52 young professionals who are deployed, one in each district, systematically cover the whole district and look at which are the problems in the local area which may tomorrow snowball, and what is the scale of the impact on people. Document it, get it validated by community itself, notify to the local administration, but more importantly, share with the CM's office. Parallelly, they also document the innovations, best practices, good work being done by the administration to support the governance agenda, and then from there we pick it up. And both appreciations to the people who are doing good job, but also importantly pulling up wherever we see loose ends is also being done. In fact, what is happening, we will in the later slides we will show that how this mechanism is supporting the honorable CM's district review, which happens quite often. And third is we do publications, documentations of all the processes being followed, and the progress happening at the state level. So in terms of, which was one of the objectives, that the positive social change was the aspiration, but how do we do that? We look at, the priorities, which are defined by the government and which are needs of the, for the social development at the grassroots level or the community level. Our people personally ensure that systematically they visit, panchayats and those geographies, reach out to local communities, understand their perspective, that what form of governance they are looking at, what is acceptable to them, what are perceptions, what are the challenges, and how are they taking benefit of the existing deployed governance mechanism. So they identify the best practices and the local issues. I've tried explaining in the earlier slide also, but here we've just shown it as how the process is being followed. And then there are KPIs being defined, the documentation is being done, and which is submitted to the concerned department. We can go to the next slide, Apurva. We've tried showing some of the photographs that how the impact through various schemes is being captured. As we mentioned that there is a structured feedback mechanism. Everything is paperless. Most of the stuff is being done through the computer assisted on the ground surveys, where data automatically pops up at the backend server, which is cleaned, and there is 100% quality check on any kind of data is being captured by our fellows. So there is another layer of verification. And then so far we have almost done 22,000 surveys for 8 to 10 key schemes, which were priorities for the government and the need of the people as well. So some of the schemes we have highlighted is Lok Seva Kendra, Poshan Abhiyan, the CM Street Vendor Scheme, our food security scheme specifically for the ration distribution, and PM Awas Yojana. We have done the surveys as we have mentioned in the presentation, which the total count is about 22,000 beneficiaries so far covered. But more importantly, the outcome of these studies have been that we identify the glitches related to the capability of the people who are implementing the scheme, the process, technology, infrastructure, perception, if there are not so good experiences by the people, which was given to the government. And because of that, there is a immediate sort of course correction happening from the government. For example, quite a bit of schemes are now under the revision with the amendments required in the processes. Next slide, Apurva. So this is the dashboard. That's how, just illustrative, that's how we capture the performance of, our team. And this is being reported across the level. This dashboard is available to the district level, to the CM office, to AI, GGPA team. And there is a central PMU team which keeps on updating it. This is as good as, having real-time data, which gives clarity that what percentage of the work, what work has been deployed, what percentage is complete, what is pending, what is, delayed. And then we immediately get into action to bring it on track. We have also given liberty to our young professionals to directly work with the district administration and work on the critical initiatives. So for example, this is one example where they worked on RCMS portal in the Chhatarpur district, which means that they enabled e-governance and supported that district. Once that process is complete, they will share this as a best practice with other districts also, so that it can be replicated. So similar examples of, Mission Umeed. Badwani is one of our backward districts where, the team supported the district administration creating, Mission Umeed, where institutional delivery for pregnant women, living in some of the remote areas was supported. And you see IMR, MMR has been a major issue for us. But then, some of these innovations have helped, of course, to fast track the support which was required. Similarly, in one of the districts called Narsinghpur, they created a model panchayat cluster, and that was also, supported by and appreciated by, quite a bit of stakeholders in the state. So some more examples, I will not go in detail, but we will share the presentation with you so that, you can look at it. In terms of, as I mentioned earlier, that all the reviews which are done by Honorable CM with the collectors of the districts, there are reports being generated by them. So one, they capture and provide intelligence to the CM that what is the situation of these schemes, because we are doing a systematic review, evaluation of the schemes, which is backed by data. That goes to the Honorable CM for each district, highlighting challenges and good stuff or good things, best practices being undertaken by the district administration. Then more importantly, if there are law and order related issues, infrastructure related issues, and the directions from the CM comes directly to support that. So this is how the detailed process is being followed for profiling of the local issues, where once they proactively look at what are the issues being reported in media or informed by communities, or if they are part of the review meetings, they go identify, document, analyze, and then validate, and then send it to the central mechanism, so that any sort of course correction is required. It is evidence-based, it is well documented. So, last slide, we would like to highlight, or, in a couple of last slides, we wanted to highlight that how our impact is sustainable and holistic. So one, our young professionals are living at the local level. They are all deployed in the districts, and they are full-time there. They are engaging all stakeholders and communities, including the district administration, the elected representatives, the communities themselves, the Panchayati Raj institutions, and the civil societies. So they have a fair understanding, or they have an opportunity to develop fair understanding of the local issues. Second, we try to cover 100% geographic coverage, starting from the block level to district level. Hence, the whole of the state is being covered. Third is that any sort of recommendation, one, it is evidence-based, data-based, and second, that is more importantly 100% quality checked by our central teams. We've also looked at how we create convergence. Like our program, there are multiple programs from Government of India and other departments. So we identified all CM fellows or program fellows or research associates or young professionals being deployed by various agencies. We brought them together under one roof, help them
Sorry
understand
to
each
interrupt you,
other's
sir.
work.
Please conclude, sir.
Ji. So I think this is our Purva, last slide. So these are some of the glimpses where we bought. So there is what I'm trying to say is that there is a informal community of these young professionals at the district level who are working together and complementing each other's effort. And, they are all going extra mile to support, the development agenda at the grassroots level. So this is it from us. Some photographs for your reference.
A good initiative, sir. In fact, for how many years you employ these YPs? Number one question. Number two, can you share us with just two examples where based on their recommendations, you have made course correction in any of the 7 schemes which are in focus for the government?
Sure. So one is that they are engaged for 2 years, and that is the maximum time they get. After that, we go for a new cohort as a new set of people. Second, in terms of immediate course correction, we have got multiple examples where they participated in the CM review and gave insights for all the local issues, where CM immediately instructed to the department to correct things on the real-time basis, which happened. We can share documented examples for that. But on the schemes, for example, Lok Seva Kendra, this is a good example of PPP, where we have got private vendors delivering our Public Service Delivery Act, which was notified in 2010. But it has been 5-7 years when these institutions were open, and there are multiple challenges, specifically around the service level agreement of these independent vendors who are at the block level supporting delivery of the services which are enacted under the 2010 Act and supported by the government. So now, based on the inputs we have given to them, they are coming with version 2 of the scheme, one, and second, they have also revised their service level agreements with all their service providers or the vendors under the program.
Similarly, okay.
Similarly, on the food security scheme, one of the key schemes is Ration Aapke Gram for the tribal blocks, where there are vehicles taking the ration distribution closer to the communities, at least at the Gram Sabha level. So based on our inputs now, because we found that some of the vehicles are not reaching on time, they are not following the roster. So GPS is currently being installed on all the vehicles, and all the drivers are enrolled under a finger print mechanism where their attendance is being taken. Plus, every hour they are sharing their GPS location on WhatsApp. So that mechanism was suggested by us. So GPS, just to back up, then they have WhatsApp locations, and their fingerprints are taken through an app where we get clarity around how the vehicle movement is happening and how are they ensuring that they are delivering the ration at the specific points which have been allocated to them.
Good. Thank you. At least, because sometimes the government schemes are rigid due to their own provisions. So it is very good to note that they have flexibility on the recommendations of these young professionals. Excellent contribution.
You are absolutely right there, and that is our learning also. So
yes.
The only benefit we get, because this program is hosted under Chief Minister Office, so we are taken more seriously, and we try to take leverage of that, and send the not only the problems but what are the solutions required to the department, so they become more implementable by the department.
Thank you, please.
Thank you.
Sir, ground level information is very critical for system improvement.
Ji.
You have started a very good scheme wherein you are putting up young professionals.
Ji.
What is the mechanism of giving them proper remuneration when they are working in the rural areas? Because it is very, very difficult to retain good quality manpower.
You are absolutely right, sir. There and so they all are employed with the Atal Bihari, Institute for Policy Analysis and Good Governance. So there is a salary mechanism. Second, when they travel to the remoter areas, there is a provision for TADA. Third, we have also required the district administration to facilitate their travel to the remoter areas. And fourth is that we have a reward and recognition mechanism. If they perform better, then there are, of course, not all the time physical, but we both have we have both kind of incentives where either they get recognition and they have given an opportunity to meet the CM present and certificate signed by the CM personally. And second, we also try to create some sort of excitement by giving them small financial incentives in terms of gift vouchers and other things, so that they remain motivated.
Okay, good enough. Because this is very important. Otherwise, you will not get good quality.
Absolutely. But I would like to share this with you, which is a matter of proud for us. The passion we look at in these research fellows or young professional, it is amazing. Some of them have gone extra mile and walked quite a few kilometers to cover each and every village under their district. And we can share some personal stories later for validation, where it seems that they are all working out of passion, not just because of the employment requirement.
So passion is a different thing, and system improvement intervention is a different thing.
Absolutely.
Because they need to work with some different mindset. Most of the our young children, they want to work in cities because every facility is available over there.